Okay, well, that sad news aside, it's not sad news. It's not a bad problem to have. Too much work. I just need to manage expectations, but it was just kind of getting to me that I had so much work going on and a lot of stuff on me. It doesn't make for a calm life. Anyway, so let's talk about more fun things. There's a couple things that I need to do. Would like to do. One, I need to finally finish recreating a logo for Klein Vintage Watch. I have the basic elements in my head. I know basically what I want it to look like. I have quotes from one person about doing a logo and all this other kind of stuff. He had a pretty ambitious plan for all the things he wanted to do for us. I don't know that we need all that stuff, and I'll talk to him again about it. I mostly just want a logo. I was considering actually having a lot of t-shirts made. Put t-shirts on the website, why not? Because I like my logo. I think it'd be pretty neat. But if you have any experience doing all this stuff, I used to be pretty dead hand with doing like InDesign and stuff like that, and Publisher and Illustrator, but it's been a good amount of time, and I don't have those programs anymore. Otherwise, I'd probably just do it myself. But it might also be a good idea to have someone else's input on it. So give me a shout. Speaking of products on the website, I want to talk about products that we could potentially have. There's a few things we're thinking about. One, I talked about new crystals that I'm also now thinking about reproducing 335 WO8 GA00. That is the crystal for the 6159s, but it can also be used in the 7549, 7009 tunas and the other ones like that. They're becoming a lot harder to find, and Jonathan did have them made. I talked to Kathy and we're gonna talk about getting a run of those done. It won't be cheap though. They're big, heavy crystals. But that's something I'm gonna think about because they seem to be hard to get. 7002 crystals are moving ahead, which is nice. And let's see, what was I gonna do? Oh yes, the strap. Hang on a second, I've got to go help Kraken. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, strap. It's in my brain. It doesn't seem to work at all. So here's the deal. Talking about this strap. Well, here, why don't we look at it first? So here's a strap for potentially for something that might want to have made. So what this is this is the pulse meter strap. This is a tapered from 22 to like 14, and almost no one has them made. It's an interesting idea, but I want to get your input on it. I'm sorry, Kraken. 1 second, and we're back. Okay, so anyway, the strap. One of my things is that the fashion for straps in the last, I don't know, for a long time now, has been sort of wide and heavy and like big, chunky and thick, and they always make me feel like my wrist is suffocating. I've always liked tapers. It's always been one of my things. It probably puts me in the minority. But there was a vintage strap that Seiko made. They used them on their pulse meters in the 80s. And their taper, and they're a sports strap. So they're I don't know what you'd call them or how you'd describe them. I really like them, and nobody, as far as I know, makes something quite like this. There's an iso frame, but again, iso frames are like this big, huge, thick rubber band thing. It just cuts off circulation to your hand. This is a taper strap. I'm trying to think if I can see it there. And it has these rectangular holes, and it's a taper thing. This is an original Seiko strap. It's short is the only thing. It's not designed to go like over a wetsuit. So I was considering having this recreated, but I would do it just a little bit longer, so it'd be like GL831 length, like a 6309 diver length. They're already 22 millimeters. It's on a grandfather tuna right now. I just don't, I would like to know your first impressions, what you think about having a taper strap like this, and whether that's something that you would dig or not. I'm considering it. I think they're cool. And they're hard to find. You don't really see them, and I think a lot of people don't really know that they exist. So that'll be a very interesting thing. let's see, I've had a few questions, and so, or a few statements. I had one person say, hey, I read your Warner Wound interview that you used to work on like machines and Vespas and stuff. Weirdly, I can't find that many pictures of me with scooters, but I found one. This is, you can barely see that over here. That's my 1974 Rally 200. This is the 1990s. I had like 15 Vespas. Other things, the person had asked, what other stuff did you used to work on? I was really big with my dad into Volkswagens. Here I am probably at 15 or 16 years old. Nah, probably about 16 or 17. And that's my dad back there, and there's our two VW Bugs, both long past that green one. Somebody ran a stop sign and T-boned me and destroyed that. I actually have one of the taillights from that car here. But I loved Volkswagens. Here I am trying to do some TIG welding in the back of one of these cars. I never did get that one running. Other things was motorcycles. There's a BMW all set up. I had a 1972 R75, and that was a nice one, but it had to be push started a lot. I sold it to somebody, and then he abandoned it in a snowbank. Very sad. And I asked him, I was like, hey man, that BMW I sold you, it's in a snowbank. Do you not want it anymore? It was on its side even. And he was like, yeah, he wanted like $1,000 for it. This is like 25 years ago. I'm sure it's gone now. And here's another one of my favorite cars. This is one of the only good shots I have of it. It's not even a good shot. My 1960 Ford Thunderbird. I paid $1,200 for that car. It was a lot of money back in the day. Not a speck of rust on it. Completely original. Pretty amazing. The ram and pinion steering went out in the front, and I just sold it to some guy. It's in theory, I think it still lives. It's in San Francisco somewhere doing stuff. Another person, Stephen Taylor in the UK, said, hey, he's English, but he's been a fan of the Patriots for 35 years. Now, I'm a Broncos fan. I grew up here in Colorado, but my wife is an East Coaster. And also, my extended family's all from Massachusetts. But anyway, my wife Sabrina is a huge Pats fan. And when our oldest was getting ready to be born, was during the same day, basically, as the 2007 ALCS matchup between the Patriots and the Colts. And she was actually in labor, and she was we were in Medford, Massachusetts, and she told the doctor, you got to get this baby out of me. I don't want to miss kickoff. And the doctor, who wasn't from Massachusetts, said, you're like the fourth woman to tell me that today. What's up with you Pats fans? And anyway, so if you're a Pats fan, you're serious about the Pats. But I remember the bad old days, the Patsies. I was watching when, Brady's first game, when they brought him up and Bledsoe, old high and wide, got taken out and Brady went in. I watched that whole season. I was living back east in Boston in those days, and that was a pretty fun run, but I remember the days of the Patsies. And those days may come again, you never know. It seems like the Pats are having real problems through this last season. I still can't believe they benched Butler. What was Belichick thinking? Why did he bench Butler? It just seems asinine. And then, of course, I don't know, just something has to change, to everything. Turn, turn, turn. There's a season. Turn, turn, turn. And maybe the Pats season is finally changing. My prediction, Rams are going to do some crazy stuff coming up. Rams are going to do some crazy stuff. Another prediction for me for football, John Gruden is he's not going to do anything good for the Raiders at all. And even though he's got a 10-year contract, I bet you anything that he's not going to hold for a long time for that. And I just, I think the game has passed him by. And he was great as an announcer. I thought he was hilarious. But I don't see the Raiders doing anything. Of course, being a Broncos fan, that's perfectly fine with me. And then, of course, there's the Chargers, which I don't really care about that much. I don't have anything against them. I think Phillip Rivers is a nice enough guy, and I do like San Diego. If we had a ton of money and no ties to anything, we'd move to San Diego. I like it there. I like California. And then, of course, the Chiefs in our division did. I don't care. Not a big deal. They had Alex Smith. They were knocking on the door. I think I don't have to worry about them this coming season. But the Broncos are, I don't know, Vance Joseph, and we've shed off so many good people. And you know, the glory days of 2013 are they're kind of gone. And we had that built to win team, and we won. And that's I think we're going to be a little bit of a downtime again. Anyway, I don't know. Ramblings on a Friday. So I guess to sort of recap, I'm overloaded. I have too much work in, so I'm going to be holding off on taking new jobs for now. But I'm going to have I'm going to do new videos. So again, any suggestions for videos, please run them by me because I'll try and do it. I'd like to do more stuff showing work. I don't know about the rig needed to do that. I mean, I was thinking about it. I did a custom build the other night because I relax by building watches. So I had this, you can't really see it, I had this junky old, nasty old, like 1970 Bulova, this gold-plated piece of junk. But inside it had an ETA 2872, which is quite a decent movement. So I got I bought an ETA 24, a case basically for that movement family. You can get the whole case on eBay. It was like 80 bucks and it came with the hands and the dial and everything. So there that is. It was 80 bucks, and for 80 bucks it's, you know, actually the quality's not bad, but I went and I put the movement from that watch into this. Gosh, and it runs beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. Runs beautifully. The quality's okay on the case. The case actually is 316L steel, and I like the display case back and everything else like that. The rotating ring setup is just really crappy. That's my only real complaint about it. But I mean, they went so far as like the insert here is actually polished steel. It's crazy. But they didn't push the numbers in far enough, and so the paint just wears away. 80 bucks, what are you gonna do? But it runs beautifully. Very, very, very pleased with that. So maybe, you know, we'll see if I can find some way to make the bezel work a little bit better. Like, it barely turns, and it kept coming off. You know, for 80 bucks, what are you gonna do? Anyway, that's really about it. I don't have any other bits of wisdom to impart. It's Friday. I'll try to regularly come up with videos. Sabrina really wants me to keep pushing on it, so I'm standing here wasting your time as I blather on about watches. It is amazing, these ETA movements though. You know, you just need the little tricks to keep them going, but once, I mean, this thing, it was just this ugly old watch, and the movements, these ETA movements, they're gorgeous, and they run beautifully after service. I wish the bezel, the rotating ring, turned a little bit better. I was really sort of looking forward to it. And I don't like the sweep hand. It's got that blobby round top thing I don't dig. But the on-the-minute hands are nice. It's like an Omega type thing. But, you know, it's going to be accurate. That's what matters with a watch. Accuracy. Okay, well, with that, if you have time, let me know what you think about the pulse meter strap and see if you dig that or not. Be happy to have your input. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.